It was just another Friday night for Alex, Rachel, Mike, and Emma, a tight crew who'd been rolling together since their college days. These four were always chopping it up about everything: politics, tech, you name it. Lately though, they'd been vibing hard on the stock market, hyped about all the money moves they could make. After some back and forth, they decided to kick off a stock market simulation game to get their feet wet in the world of investing and figure out how to play the risk game like pros. The setup was straight up. Each of them got a virtual $100,000 to play with. They could throw their cash into stocks, bonds, or whatever securities caught their eye, then track how their moves panned out over time. The squad went hard, spending hours digging into research and spitting game about different investment strategies. When the game kicked off, the crew was hyped, jumping into buying and selling stocks like they were born for this. They were glued to the market, watching every dip and spike, tweaking their portfolios like DJs mixing tracks. Early on, Rachel's growth stocks were popping off, and she was flexing as the frontrunner. But as the game rolled on, her portfolio started acting like a roller coaster, swinging wild. Mike's data-driven hustle started paying off, and he was creeping up on Rachel's lead. Alex's diversified approach kept his gains steady, but he wasn't dropping jaws with any big wins. Meanwhile, Emma was out here doing her homework, and it showed. Her picks were surging, and she was closing in on Rachel, turning the game into a straight-up dogfight. As the simulation kept grinding, the crew hit some bumps. Mike's algo game helped him dodge the worst of it, but the others were scrambling. They started realizing that risk management was the real MVP in this game. They got hip to diversification, hedging bets, and setting stop-loss orders to keep from getting wiped out. Alex's balanced portfolio ended up looking like a genius move, holding strong while the market was acting a fool. As the game neared the finish line, it was anybody's race. Rachel's growth stocks bounced back, and Mike's number crunching was still bringing in gains. Emma's research had her portfolio growing nice and steady, and Alex's safe plays kept him in the mix. The tension was thick, like the bass line in a club banger. In the final stretch, the squad made their last big moves. Rachel went all in on a risky stock, chasing that big payout like she was at a Vegas slot machine. Mike played it cool, hedging his bets to lock in his gains. Emma and Alex stuck to their game plans, making small tweaks but keeping their eyes on the prize. When the simulation finally wrapped, the crew was hyped to see who came out on top. Rachel's high-risk bet paid off some, but it wasn't enough to take the crown. Mike's cautious moves had him sitting pretty at number one, with Emma and Alex right behind him, neck and neck. They sat down and broke it all down, talking about what slapped and what flopped. They figured out that investing ain't just about picking winners. It's about playing smart, managing risk, and rolling with the market's punches. The game had schooled them on some real talk. Diversification, hedging, and stop-loss orders were clutch. They also got that investing is a marathon, not a sprint, and you gotta stay cool and disciplined to win. The game was a straight-up win, giving them a fun way to learn the ropes without losing their shirts. As they split for the night, they knew they'd always have this bond, built on slinging stocks and sharing big dreams. They also got that investing wasn't just about getting rich, it was about building a foundation for freedom and security. It took patience, guts, and a solid plan. Looking ahead, the crew was amped to keep growing as investors. They'd take the lessons from the game and apply them to their real-world money moves. The whole thing had been a vibe, and they were grateful for the chance to learn from each other. They knew they'd always have each other's backs, whether they were talking stocks or just kicking it. In the end, the stock market simulation game was a banger. It dropped knowledge, sparked laughs,